Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Burbank, California, where the local time is approximately 6:07 a.m. Pacific. We'll be taking flight number 204 today from the Burbank Airport over to Homey X-Ray Tango Alpha in Groom Lake, Nevada. I just recently got on with this charter company that I found. Great company. They apparently want me to do this flight. I actually haven't been to X-Ray Tango Alpha yet. They want me to do this flight. Apparently, they go here quite often. I don't know. Haven't done this for too long yet. They've told me we've got a bunch of people who I guess they needed to fly out to Los Angeles to investigate some weather balloon or something. I don't know, but it seems like they were pretty excited for this weather balloon, and they need to go back to their home in Groom Lake. So that's what we're going to do today. We're just going to go operate this quick chartered flight for them over from Hollywood to Groom Lake. Should be pretty exciting. Funny enough, not a lot of information on the X-Ray Tango Alpha Airport, the Homey Airport. As you'll see, that's okay though, because it looks like from all the weather I've seen that it looks absolutely beautiful over Nevada. We'll just go ahead and shoot a quick visual and we'll look over the runways once we get in the air. Should be pretty straightforward. Speaking of that flight, here is the basic overview today. Nothing too interesting, just a 52-minute flight. There's our block fuel. We're going to be taking the Van Nuys 3 departure. I'll go ahead and brief that with you guys in just 1 second here. Then we'll go direct to Edwards, Las Vegas, Mercury, and it suggested we take runway 32. We'll look at the weather here in a second. Passengers, 104 on board. A lot of weather balloon enthusiasts today. Very exciting day for them, for the weather balloon community, I guess. Flight level 370.8 on the Mach. Very quick flight today. I already looked at the NOTAMs for Burbank. I actually do have quite a few SID NOTAMs. I'll review those with you once we get on board here. No NOTAMs for Homey, so that makes my life a little bit easier, and Las Vegas is our alternate. With that out of the way, should be a pretty fun flight. We're going to go wake this plane up, and I'll see you guys in just 1 second here. Okay, I just went ahead and got the airplane set up. I do have to run through a few checklists here just to make sure the overhead's set up. Everything's good to go. I do need to input my performance. They're loading the bags right now, people and fuel. Actually, they're taking out fuel right now. I guess we started with more fuel than we need for this flight, but that's okay. Only thing I want to go over real quick is the departure procedure. Gotta be honest, I did not realize that the Van Nuys 3 departure is only for turboprops and pistons, but you know what? That's okay. Our company, I guess, has some connections, and they managed to get us situated where we can do this anyways. That's the story we're going with anyways. Open up this departure here. You can see it'll be 273 on departure from runway 33. That'll give us 6,800 feet of runway. Direct Van Nuys, then a PO, and I already went and made sure these are good. Vectors, then Van Nuys, a PO. Twine, Lange, Slap, Bogut, Palmdale. We'll use the Palmdale transition, then from there we'll be direct Edwards, Vegas, and Mercury, and then direct to Groom Lake. Awesome. No restrictions for us other than that we shouldn't be doing this in the first place. The minimum climb rate at 550 per nautical mile. This is just a textual description for Palmdale. They're just saying from Van Nuys on Van Nuys radial 255 and then LAX 323 to Twine, then Victor Tango Uniform 046, and then Palmdale, which I know sounds complicated and scary, but if you actually look at it, you realize it's just a textual description of this GPS route that we already punched in, and you'll note that all of these waypoints correspond with those radials that we just read on. So no big deal. We have everything punched in the GPS. I read the NOTAMs. There's some transitions that require a GPS because some VORs are out of service. Ours doesn't. Doesn't matter. We're using a GPS anyways. So that out of the way, we're going to go get the passengers on board. I got to run through quite the checklist items here just to make sure everything's set up and good to go. I'll see you guys in just a few minutes. Alright, passengers are on board. The pre-flight checklists are all complete. Just got to do a quick departure briefing. I already reviewed this route. It all looks good. We are going to be taking runway 33 out of Burbank today, and that should give me a grand total of 66 feet of runway. We'll be departing on the Van Nuys 3 departure for Van Nuys 3, It'll be a left turn to 273, already set on standby immediately upon departure. Direct to the Van Nuys VOR, then Pio, Twine, Lange, Bogut, Palmdale. No restrictions there. Top altitudes assigned by ATC. I gave myself 10,000 feet. So it'll be 273 for the vectors, and then once we're stabilized, I'm just going to go ahead, because we're flying offline, I'm just going to go ahead and punch in direct Van Nuys as soon as we're stable and good to go there. If anything does go wrong before 80 knots, we will go, any abnormalities at all, we close the throttle, abort the takeoff, and deal with the issue on the ground. Beyond 80 knots, we will only be aborting for an engine failure or a fire warning. That is, if it happens before 115 knots, between 80 and 115, we'll only abort for engine failure or fire. Otherwise, if we hit 115, we're committed to take off. We will climb out and delay our rotation and climb out at 128. 128, not one. Oh wait, that's a 126. Sorry, 126. Punch the autopilot on if able. If not, we'll hand fly it and fly 273 punch heading mode on. Follow the heading as we get ourselves situated. When we're ready, we'll expect the visual back to runway 33 at Burbank, or if it's serious enough, we'll go to Los Angeles. Weather here in Burbank is 330 at 3, smoke, but clear skies, altimeter 3029 are both set and cross-check. That is the departure briefing complete. Any questions? No. Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and tell my guys that we need to close this plane up and get out of here. Okay, they just went ahead and pulled our chocks and cones. It looks absolutely beautiful out here. Man, I wish I was in California right now, not stuck up here in fucking negative 5-degree weather in New York. Let's go ahead and get on this airplane now. We don't need to push back or anything. We're just going to go ahead and close this door, and then they'll pull my stairs away and we can get out of here. So door is going to be closed if I can find the hit spot. There it is. Door closed, they'll pull our stairs, we'll lock ourselves in the cockpit. Have a good flight, everybody. Let's get out of here. Alright, sounds like ground just gave us the go-ahead. We've already briefed our departure. We're going to run through that start checklist. Make sure now that the door is closed, the seatbelt sign can come on. APU is already set, verified fuel is set to, yep, just over 11,000, which is what we need. Nothing in the center tanks, great. Go ahead and flip the fuel pumps on at this time. Beacon light on, verified my door is closed and locked. And let's go ahead and get out of here. So before start checks, it'll be the ground service. We've already verified everything's closed. Doors should all be closed, and we need to be careful with that because I have seen with the 700 there's a bug where sometimes the doors may look like they're closed, but if you look up here you'll see there's an indication that they aren't closed, and I've had some pressure losses from that. So we just need to verify that everything's good, and so far it looks good. We'll just have to keep an eye on it. And we are ready to start up. We'll give this signal to the ground crew. The beacon's already on. Set the chrono. And we'll go ahead and turn the packs off, 1 and 2. Oh, not on high. On low, that's what we want. Set to the right engine. Flip that over to ground, you can see. And 2 starting to rise. Once that hits 25%, we'll go ahead and introduce fuel. '23, 24, 25, add in fuel, and then we just need to watch and make sure that this starts up nicely. Good into rotation, EGT's coming to life. And 1 is slowly coming to life as well. In a second we'll hear that starter cut off. There it is. Starter cut off, and that's going to stabilize itself. EGT should spike and drop at, there you go, just below 500. And that is 1 stable engine. I'm going to go fire up number 2 at this time. Or sorry, we're going to go fire up number 1 next, not number 2. Close enough. After start memory items, I'm just going to go ahead and verify those generators are 1 and 2, both producing good power. 1, 2, both set. Go ahead and flip this over to generators. Installation valve closed. Electric pumps need to come on. APU off. Throw the packs on. And I'm going to go turn the propelle's on as well at this point. And we can kill that APU. Go over to the first officer side, set flaps to 5. And quick flight control check. I'm going to go down here, verify left aileron, right aileron, neutral, full back, full forward, neutral, left rudder, right rudder, neutral, speed brakes deployed, retracted, and that should be set up. After start checklist is going to be propelle's verified. Okay, so we're currently over here in front of Millionaire. We need to get to 3-3, so I'm going to give myself a clearance via Bravo, cross runway 8, Charlie, Golf, just like that. So release the park and brake. I technically gave those guys the signal a little bit early. Plane's moving on its own because it's 737, and it's a very light 737 for that matter. While we taxi out here, flight directors, I'm just going to go ahead and throw on. And yep, you can see I actually remembered to set this to yaw. Flight directors on, auto throttles to armed, and I'm going to throw heading select on standby just so once we take off we can just do that. In fact, what I might do is, since we're an airplane of this size, is I'm just going to kitty corner it over to Bravo right here, and then just take Bravo down to cross runway 8, Charlie and Golf. Checklist park and brake verified is set off. Throttle verified is set for taxi. Hold point just says park and brake set and center pumps off. System annunciator will recall that. No door alarm this time, not on the first officer side. Great, awesome. And we'll go ahead and request our takeoff clearance. Continuing with the checklist at hold point, we'll go ahead and turn landing lights on. Go press the chime. Flight attendant, seats for departure, please. Go turn the wing lights on. Yep, I know it is. Awesome, thank you. Taxi light off. Verified. Taxi light off, runway. Turn off lights are off. Position lights on. Transponder set TARA. And the park and brake is released, and the rest will be upon entering the runway. Alright, we just passed the whole short line, verified final clear. Runway itself is clear. We'll get on the runway. 115, 116 for rotate, and then 126 for V2. Flight controls free and correct. I'll set my checklist to after takeoff so I don't have to worry about that in the air. It'll be 273 on departure up to 10,000. Get ourselves lined up nicely here, about 6,800 feet. Nothing. Oop, that was pretty aggressive there, eh? And then we'll go ahead and line up here, bring it to a stop. Everything looks good. Heading looks good. Elevation looks good. And runway 33 is identified. Start to spool it up to 40%. %. Set. I'm going to go and stabilize. We're going to go press toga. Release the brakes. Takeoff power set. Instruments looking good. Airspeed live. 80 knots. Continuing. 100. V1 rotate. V2.
Positive rate.
Positive rate, climb gear up.
Gear up.
Just trimming it out a little bit here. Start that turn on heading mode to 273, please. Heading mode 273, please. Why are you not doing that? There you go. Just want to get this plane to follow its own commands before I engage that autopilot. And autopilot engaged. Perfect. Here is up. That'll follow 273. And here I'll up this to 156 now for a climb out. Once this plane stabilizes itself, then we can go ahead and use and punch in direct van eyes. So here, right around now, I'll go ahead and verified level change is set. Increase now to 240 on the speed. And as it does that, we'll start bringing those flaps up. Turn-offs can come off. Keep everything else the way it is for now. Flap set 2, please. And at this time, we're going to give ourselves a vector direct van eyes. Van eyes, execute, LNAV on, and airplane is turning direct van eyes. Beautiful. Flaps to 1. Cabin altitude is changing. That's great. Flaps retracted. And gear to off. Auto brakes off. After takeoff checks. Landing gear verified is up and off. All lights extinguished. The autopilot verified is on command A. Flaps verified are retracted and confirmed. The auto brakes verified are off. And the engine start switches will go ahead and set off. I had one time the throttles just rolled back on me when I did that, but looks like it didn't that time, which is nice. And transition altitude we set upon passing flight level 180. And we'll continue the checklist upon passing 18,000. There's 10,000 feet, and that reminds me, we'll go ahead and give ourselves a vector up to our cruise altitude. Level change, please. I almost forgot about that. Just trying to get that cinematic in. Can't blame me for that, right, guys? Anyways, we'll keep it cruising out at... I'm actually going to keep the speed at 240 just because of this pretty tight turn here. Once we get around this turn, we'll increase it up to 280. Landing lights can come off. And it's an absolutely beautiful, smooth day. We did see a SIGMET for possible severe turbulence. So far, it's really smooth, though, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off that seatbelt sign. And you know what? If they get themselves hurt, that's on them, not me, right, guys? Anyways, past 10,000 feet, landing light verified off. Seatbelts off. Center fuel pumps are going to remain off. There's nothing in those tanks. APU check verified off. And and that's going to be just the rest is ATC items. So checklist is completed. We are on our way to Groom Lake. top descent. We're going down to 15,000 now into Homey. I ran through the checks and recorded that earlier, but I accidentally left the volume for the flight sim on full blast there, so all the audio of that's going to be garbage. So we're just going to run through what I just rebrief real quick the descent here. We're going down to 15,000. There is no approach procedures, no arrivals, no stars for Homey. All I've got is this one airport diagram. You can see we've got a runway 32, which will give me 11,000 feet. The FMC says I'm taking 32 right. I'm guessing that's because of the mysterious 20,000 foot closed parallel runway next to us. We're just going to go ahead and take that. How do I know I can just safely descend down to 15,000? I used the Orokas, the published off-route obstacle clearance altitudes. The highest on my route is 14.1, so I'm going to get down to 15. The weather out here is absolutely beautiful. Sky's clear. I even looked at the prog charts, and they're showing 15, and they're showing a high-pressure system, beautiful weather for the whole area. Winds generally calm, slightly out of the north, which is why we're taking 3-2. If that changes, we can take runway 14. So the plan is, once we get below 18,000, from then we can actually maintain VFR all the way in. Now, I know in real life, I'm sure that Groom Lake has some sort of published instrument approach or something like that. If they do, it's not available to us publicly for civilian use. Womp womp. It's a beautiful day. We're going to shoot a VFR approach, visual approach into runway 32. Should be fun. Again, I haven't landed here yet. I don't know what this place is. It's annoying that this airport doesn't have any published approach procedures for us, but oh well, I guess. Sit back, relax, enjoy the rest of the flight. We'll be in Groom Lake before you know it. Alright, we're now passing 9,000 feet. The approach briefing, I've already got the landing lights on. We'll turn the turn-offs on at this point too. Engine's continuous. I already ran through that checklist, so we're good there. Approach briefing, we're going to be taking runway 32, which will be 11,000 feet. Should be straight on this heading, so once we have that field in sight, we might be able... In fact, that might be the field right over there. So once we can just go ahead and turn off the autopilot and make this visual. I'll get my feet on the rudders here. Vert speed it. Remember, pattern altitude 6,000 here. And then we'll go ahead and start to slow it down. We're about 10 miles out. Don't worry about the terrain obstacle. We're VFR, so we'll just go ahead and shoot this VFR approach into runway 32. I'm guessing, yeah, I guess they did actually model the fact that there's a left runway that's 20,000 feet long. Well, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and report the field in sight. And we'll go ahead and vector ourselves. So let's see, 273, yeah, we can take that. We can take 300 on the heading for now. And that should line us up nicely with the 32 left there. Flight 10, seats for landing, please. And lights on, engine mode to continuous, and we'll reduce speed now. Reduce speed to 180 initially, and then we'll bring it down to that final approach speed. Flaps 2, and that actually looks to be lined up pretty perfectly there. We'll set this to 320. Actually, we'll just line it up with the runway for now. Oh, that actually overshot a little bit. You know what we can do? Since we're getting so close, I'm going to go ahead and just take the airplane from here. I know, my airplane, flaps 5. A little hand flying a visual never hurt, right? Trim her out a little bit. She wants to pitch up on me.
1,000 to go.
Yeah, I don't usually like shooting visuals just because I use the flight sim to practice instruments for myself. And once the speed's below 210, we can go ahead and bring that next notch out. So, go ahead and set flaps to 5. Missed approach, heading 330 is fine. And we'll go ahead and make sure that the, what's the word I'm looking for? IAS mode of 160 is what we're going to go set it to. In fact, I'll take the throttles myself at this point. Just close them. Get ourselves lined up nicely onto this runway. If the speed is below 195, we'll go ahead and bring flaps to 15 and gear down. I didn't forget the gear there. I started saying it right as the alarm went off. Can't fake that, guys. Alright, there's 180. It's reduced to VREF of 124. Gears down, 3 green, flaps to 25 now. Start letting her slow down to VREF, trim it out. There we go, just looking to be a little bit high at this time. We'll go ahead and set flaps now to full. We're below 1,000, actually not quite below 1,000 yet, but missed approach altitude set to 6,000, airspeed 160, heading 330 in case we have to go around. 150, we'll be aiming for 124. Gear down 3 green, speed brakes checked, armed. And flaps set to 30. Currently looking at 140 right now. We want to be aiming for 124. Come on, slow down a little bit. There we go. Gear down 3 green, flap set. There's the glide.
500.
And start to put a little bit of power back in to capture that 124 VREF.
400.
There we go, 125, 124. Don't want to get too slow below VREF there. Gear down 3 green. In fact, I really don't like being below VREF at all.
200.
There we go. There's 124.
100.
And we'll just fly this all the way to the runway. We can ease a tiny bit of power out, but not much.
20.
And flare, reduce power, little off center line there. Come on, hold that, hold that. There's the speed brakes. Reversers verified. Easy on the rudders on this thing. The flight model kind of sucks, I've noticed. Reversers verified. There's 60. Not that we need much given how big this runway is. Just gonna let it slow down on its own. 80 knots.
80 knots.
We'll go ahead and stow those reversers. Reversers stowed. And I'll use some manual braking to make this taxiway here. Come on, little bit more, little bit more, little bit more. Come on, well, we can still make this, watch. There you go. Just throw the passengers off to the side like that, that's how you do it. Alright, we are now clear. Once we are clear here, it looks like we can just taxi straight ahead. Not that I have much of a diagram here to base myself off of. Taxi light on. Just run through these memory items. APU on. Landing lights off. Flaps, go ahead and retract those. Speed brakes can be retracted. My engines are set to idle power. Flight director is off. Hey, is our wing, if I follow that taxi line, is it going to clear that pole there? Should probably check that, or at least see in a second. I think it will, actually. I mean, if I look outside right now, yeah, look at that. Plenty of room. Awesome. We're going to go ahead and park it right here, though. And slow down just a little bit. There you go. Cooking up those brakes today. I swear my throttle's at idle. And we'll just go ahead and put it on this line here. Beautiful. Get ready to shut it down. Call the ground services up. We can actually just park it right here. This will work out well. Actually, maybe we should roll up a bit so planes can get behind us. Come on, you. A little bit of power out, and stop it here. Perfect. All right, parking brake set. I already connected the APU, so we can kill those. Seatbelt signs off. Let's see, wing light can come off. Anti-collision light has the engine spool down below 20%. We'll turn those off. I'll go call the ground, tell them, hey, give me chocks, please. Okay, I just went ahead and ran down the shutdown items. We're going to go ahead and hop outside here and debrief. Not much to debrief on, actually. Let our friendly passengers out. I don't know where they're going next. Frankly, I don't care. But we're going to hop outside. Actually pretty scenic out here. I really don't mind it. So, anyways, that's going to be this video today. I guess the passengers all need to go somewhere, so give me 1 second. Alright, there is the passenger bus that just rolled up, and passengers should be deplaning or boarding. I thought I set it to... hold on a second. I'm not sure what to do about this. Cycle between boarding and deboarding, and then you turn it off, and then nobody appears. So that's okay. We'll go ahead and hop downstairs now. Not too much to debrief, though. Overall, a good flight. On a serious note, if you guys did enjoy the video, go ahead and please leave a like. It really helps out the channel. To everybody who liked and watched that Saab 340 video, I really do appreciate it. I've never had a video do quite that well. It was only a few hundred views, but I was very happy with the way that came out. And of course, feedback is always appreciated, whether it's positive or negative. I'd actually rather see you guys do that than just say, meh, didn't like it. I want to know why, because I want these videos to be better each time. Thank you all very much for watching, though. Leave a like, and if you do enjoy the channel, feel free to subscribe, but I'm not going to pressure you to do that. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and have a good one, everybody.